Hello, this is Pastor Linda at Lakeview United Methodist Church, and I wanted to share a thought with you today. It comes from the 10th chapter of the Gospel according to Matthew, verses 40 through 42. Before I read it, I want to explain that in this passage, Jesus is instructing his disciples as they go out for the first time to teach and heal and to be present as pastors in their own right. And Jesus says to them about rewards. He says, "Whoever welcomes you welcomes me, and whoever welcomes me welcomes the one who sent me. Whoever welcomes a prophet in the name of a prophet will receive a prophet's reward. And whoever welcomes a righteous person in the name of a righteous person will receive the reward of the righteous. And whoever gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones in the name of a disciple, truly I tell you, none of them will lose their reward." It's that cup of cold water that we forget to give so often to people that we see or we meet. It may be a cup of cold water, literally. It may be something that's a small reward that refreshes and renews. I know of a person who always carries bottles of cold water, plastic bottles of cold water in her car because she sees people on the street asking for money. And what she does is she takes one of her bottles and she has a bag of dollar bills right there. She gives the cup of cold water, the bottle, and a dollar bill to the person who's asking for some help and said, "This is a cup of cold water from the Lord to you, from me." It is a tender thought on her part to be prepared to meet people where they are and to do something really caring. I remember another kind of cup of cold water. We had an usher at another church where I served for many years who always stood at the top of the aisle at the end of the second service. He had a tray, and on that tray were cups of cold water, one for each of the pastors. He knew their mouths would be very dry at that point, and they would be talking with people, so he had a cup of cold water for each of them. Those cups of cold water became symbolic of refreshment and renewal for us after an hour of serving as pastors. His wife got sick, and she died, and we thought how terrible for him, and we offered our condolences and prepared a service for her to honor her life and to help him through a difficult time. We hadn't even had a chance to hold the service, and Sunday came again, and we did the service, and then 3 of us were terribly touched because he was at the top of the aisle, standing, waiting for us, with the refreshment and renewal we'd always come to expect, that cup of cold water. Our throats were closed. We could hardly swallow the water. We were so touched by his generosity of spirit and his thoughtfulness that he didn't stop serving others just because of difficulty and loss in his own life. You and I need to think about the times that we offer something symbolic of refreshment and renewal, whether it's a cup of cold water, a bottle of water that we can pass out to a street person, or just a smile, something we offer generously, that we offer with our whole spirit to let other people know that we are refreshing them through what the Lord has given us, passing on that cold water to each and every one. Let us pray. Oh, loving God, we thank you for your word. We thank you for the holiness that you place in us. We thank you for the many ways you bless our lives and ask us to remember to be that same blessing to others as we offer refreshment and renewal to them in your name. Amen. Thank you for listening today.